The fusion that everybody was waiting for is finally here. They have given us the Fragment Fusion Calendar to give us an idea of how many fragments you can actually get from events. So today I'm going to break this down and talk about my own strategy going into this. Hey you guys, it's Cece. Welcome back to my channel. The fusion I am of course talking about is this guy right here, Kro'khad the Throatripper. He is the doggo that everybody was waiting for from last year's fusion because he does have actually a counterpart. And it sounds like for like a year they were teasing another fusion, which he's finally here. Those of you that waited an entire year, that's crazy. I'm glad he's finally here for you guys. Now, when I talked about this fusion and I introduced him in a previous video, I did mention that since I'm newer to raid, I of course did not do that fusion in the past. So for myself, it was going to be more or less an easy pass because without his counterpart, I don't think his skills really made the most sense to actually have me go for this champ just on his own. Now, that was until they actually went ahead and announced it. The fact that we would actually have a chance to go ahead and get the other fusion. So for now, they did go ahead and give us the fragment event. So it is a fragment fusion, which does tend to be a little bit easier in comparison to some of the other ones. So they've broken down all of the events for us, and they've actually given us the Fragment Fusion Calendar, which we will take a look at. But essentially, we just have to go ahead and get at least 100 fragments to be able to go ahead and summon him. However, there will be a total of earning up to 130 if you take that top spot on the leaderboards. That would be kind of nice. That kind of sways me a little bit to decide, like, maybe I will want to participate or XYZ to see if I can actually go ahead and get this fusion. Now, as always with fusions, if I can go for them, I like to go for them. I mean, ideally, it would be nice to be able to do every single fusion, but of course, that doesn't necessarily always happen that way. So looking at this calendar and looking at the breakdown for it, essentially running from Monday, July 28th, all the way to Monday, August the 11th. And more or less, you have 5 fragment pieces. Sometimes it's 10. But looking through here, everything seemed pretty doable to me. The only ones that I'm kind of not sure of was Summon Rush and the Champion Chase Tournament. There are other ways to get points, like with Champion Chase, of course, if you're going through fusions, if it allows us to do other fusions and things like that. Those are the only ones that I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's going to happen. Now, there is the Champion Training Tournament, where you do have that option to get 10 extra fragments, and that alone is pretty enticing because if I can skip an event, then I'll want to skip an event. So for myself, I think I'm going to approach this as I do with any and all other fusions, which will be I'm going to start to do it, see what happens. If I'm not able to get the fusion by the end of it, so be it. It is what it is, and that's fine. But I think I am actually going to try to go for it, especially now that I know it is a fragment fusion, and looking at this calendar, for the most part, seems pretty doable if I don't end up skipping anything or any and all that. So I will attempt to go for the fusion, and I know some of you guys think the same way, where you've actually told me, been like, yeah, Cece, I do the same thing where I tell myself I'm gonna go for the fusion and then see what happens and see if I'm able to complete it or not. So that is definitely the same thing that I will be doing, at least for this part with Throatripper. So in case you guys had missed it, in the raid digest that they had put out, they gave us a couple little tidbits letting us know the long-awaited doggo is going to be joining Teleria, and they have updates going along with that. They also mention in here, as you know is happening, since Throatripper will join the game, when it happens, Pack Master skills description will include the new companion. By the way, in August, you'll have an opportunity to fuse not only the doggo, but also get his master. For those who make Pack Master's fusion, you're also going to have the opportunity to get Throatripper's soul from another activity to receive the most of this pair with little wink wink. That being said, we don't know how we will be able to get Pack Master. It doesn't specifically say, oh, you'll have the opportunity to also fuse. They don't say fusion, so I have no idea how this is going to come into the game. This could be a progressive, this could be a times 10 chance. I don't know. I'm not sure. So that is part of why I think I'm still gonna try to go for the fusion going on right now, just in case, because yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna be able to get Pack Master for those of us that missed it. But you guys also made the point that was like, well, Cece, if you at least do the fusion, then it is one less of the 2 that you have to try to get later. So I mean, I'm gonna do what I can. I'm gonna see if I could get it. But yes, they did mention to us there will be an opportunity to get Pack Master somehow. Honestly, thinking back to some of the other fragment fusions, I think it was Stalk the Broken was one of those fusions that they had that it was easier to get, similar to this one. It reminds me a lot of this fusion. That's the last one that comes to my mind that I'm thinking of that I was able to kind of do in a way that I wasn't necessarily calculating as much as other fusions where you actually have to either get the epics and then build them to fuse. You know, those ones I do think are a bit harder. I do find fragment fusions to be a little bit easier. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, they do have some of the events that have actually started. So as of me making this video, of course, the fusion has started. So there is the dragon tournament that is going on one day, 19 hours. Haven't started it yet, but at least it is not like a turn one or anything like that. It's literally just a hunt for artifacts. And then they also have events going on as well. One of these being dungeon divers. That does go hand in hand with dragons and having to actually farm for artifacts. And then champion training, leveling them up, upgrading their rank. So usually I have a stockpile of champs that need to be fused or not, sorry, fused, but leveled up, fed and things like that. I don't currently have that actually going on right now. So for myself, I think I'm gonna have to try to get my dragon one done pretty much as soon as possible, and then hop in to actually be able to do this next one. I do have my raid card going on right now, and then I do have an XP boost in here, so those will help. And I mean, I do have champs I've been wanting to build. I've kind of mentioned that as well, saying that I've had all these champions that I do need to build. Warlord is 35, haven't fully built on this account. Visix I haven't gotten to build on this account yet. Blizzard I need to actually take to 60. I mean, there's definitely a few champs in here. Some will probably keep where they're at, but other ones, as I said, definitely want to build. I also would like to start building out some of my champs for faction wars, because even getting into faction wars, like some of these champs, I mean, actually this one's not too bad. I have these guys built. I clearly haven't hopped in this one in a while. Let's go Sacred Order, maybe this one. This one I'm also doing pretty good on, and I think part of that is just the champs I have for Sacred Order. Oh, here, prime example. So some of these guys I want to actually go ahead and build them, but I think I might be able to climb down further into these now. So always exciting when you see progress happening in real time when I'm recording a video. And I'm like, wait a minute. But there's also clan versus clan going on right now. And for this clan versus clan, we are absolutely crushing it right now. Mind you, they are level 9. We did lose our last CVC, so we thought this one would be easier. And that is the case. And Faction Wars is actually ×2. So is Forging. Okay, good way to actually go ahead and get some points. I'm going to have to hop into there and actually do some of that. But yeah, I think for this fusion, the first thing I really need to go ahead and do is just to hop into dragons and see what I can do in here. So on this account, still on normal, haven't broken into hard yet. I think I should be able to today. On my other account, I can do hard mode. So it's also extra drop for speed, which is always great. I think my time will kind of determine what I actually want to, like, what stage do I want to farm this at, because obviously I want to be able to kind of go in here and farm at a speed that makes sense for my energy, especially only having so much time and wanting to get everything done within this fusion. So I think for the next little while, I will be living in Dragon's Lair at least for the next day or so. But regardless, I'm gonna try to go for the fusion. I know a lot of people are super excited for it, and I'm more just curious to see how we're gonna be able to get Packmaster for those of us that haven't gotten him so far. So I think we're just gonna have to wait and see. If you download Raid Shadow Legends using my link, I'm actually gonna start you off with the free legendary champion on day 1. And then at level 10, level 20, and level 30, you'll get yourself an epic. That is 4 amazing champions that you can get just by downloading using my link. That is it for today's video. I wish you guys all the luck in going for this fusion. If you are going for him, of course, comment down below. Let me know. And what are your thoughts? How do you think we are going to potentially have our chance opportunity to get Packmaster? Comment your thoughts down below, and be sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos, including when I hopefully complete this fusion. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!